to Fir Park. An overall record of 7 goals in 6 games against his former club suggests no mercy whatsoever. Georgios Samaras scored twice here in that 4-2 win in September, but the goals have dried up for him lately. He's in from the start though in a 3-pronged attack. The goals have been flowing in contrast for David Clarkson. He's enjoying a scoring streak, and last week's winner against Hamilton was his 50th goal for Motherwell. Jim O'Brien faces his former club. There was serious competition at Celtic in his position, so they loaned him out to Dunfermline and then to Dundee United and then sold him to Motherwell. Maintaining law and order today is policeman Ian Brines. The two managers are very close friends. They were teammates at Aberdeen, and when Mark McGee got the Motherwell job, he actually stayed at Gordon Strachan's house for a while. I hope Gordon made him breakfast. That would have been a sight to see. Motherwell will be hoping to make more of a match of it than the last time Celtic came here in September. Celtic were 2 up inside 10 minutes and 4 up by half-time then. The Groundsman of the Year award is set to pass Fir Park by again. Motherwell are going to have to do something about the shambolic state of their pitch, but in the meantime, everyone has just got to get on with it and do their best. Motherwell's upturn in form has coincided with Stephen Craigan's return to the team from injury. Scott Brown is okay after taking a whack on the head when Alan McGregor clattered into him in the Old Firm game. Hinkle. Glenn Loven's back in the side. Gary Caldwell then in the midfield role. That's happened a few times this season. Sutton. Mugged by Caldwell. High boot from McDonald. Back on familiar territory, and he has scored every time he's come back here with Celtic.
I think the key thing for Celtic today is how are they going to adapt to playing a formation that they're not used to. I guess they would have worked on things in training leading up to this match, but training and competitive games are a different kettle of fish altogether.
It's aimed towards Sutton. It's cleared by McManus, and now Klimple, who's certainly made an impression since moving into a midfield role, maybe a centre-half. Paul Quinn penalised. Rather getting the free kick himself off Venegor of Hesselink. O'Brien, Clarkson, Quinn, Nakamura, now Hinkle. Scott McDonald ahead of him, Nakamura available again. Lee Naylor. Samaras. Naylor's throw, high into the sky by Craigan. Awkward for Caldwell, especially with Sutton in close attendance. Motherwell did manage a win at Celtic Park last season, but such days are rare for them. They've only won 2 of their last 22 league encounters with Celtic. Craigan pips Venegor of Hesselink to it. Clarkson, a man in form, in a team in form in the SPL anyway. McDonald, giving Scott Brown some work to do. Naylor supporting, and McDonald let it go, and he's got a chance to score! And perhaps he should have given Celtic an early lead against his former club.
Well, there's no doubt about it. It's tremendous link-up play again. Naylor scuffs his cross in. McDonald lets it run, gets a great pass back from Samaras, and you would expect him to finish from there. It's brilliant movement between the two of them. A side foot from 15 yards out over the bar, but McDonald is normally deadly, and you would have fancied him to put Celtic in front.
Since leaving Motherwell, he has scored frequently against them, Scott McDonald, and he should have done so again there. A neat opening for Celtic. Stephen Hughes forced into a corner, and Lee Naylor gets the throw.
But it was reminiscent of how Celtic played when they came here earlier on in the season, 4-0 up after half an hour, and it was some of the best football we've seen in the SPL for a long time. Absolutely phenomenal that day. Started off sharp again.
Handball, Venegor of Hesseling. Cragen takes it towards Sutton. Sutton and Hughes aiming to link up. Nakamura now for Samaras. Given away though. Fitzpatrick. O'Brien let it go for Quinn, who wasn't expecting it. Samaras. Klimple, he's presented that to Hinkle. McManus. Up towards Big Ian. No foul by Reynolds. Agora has looked inquisitively at Ian Bryant.
Yeah, I think he was entitled to a free kick there because he was just standing his ground and he got pushed.
Scott Brown. Fitzpatrick steaming in. So too Sutton. Mark McGee dejected and disappointed at his team's performance in the Scottish Cup at St Mirren. Looking for a response today, but in general they have been on an excellent run in the SPL. If they extend their unbeaten run to 8 matches today, it'll be their best sequence for almost a decade since Billy Davis went 8 unbeaten as Motherwell manager in 1999.
I don't think it's any coincidence that Motherwell's improvement in form has come about with the return to the side of Stephen Cragen. He's been a pivotal part of their team over the last few years, gives them a steadying influence.
Venegor Hesseling beat Cragen to that.
Do it again! Do it again!
Quinn's header will be gathered by his keeper, Smith. His contract's up at the end of the season and he's unsure about whether he might stay or move on. Hinkle has let that bounce. He recovered to deny David Clarkson. An anxious moment though for Andreas Hinkle.
Well, I've no idea what Hinkle's thinking of because he can deal with it the first time. In the end, he bails himself out, but certainly a worry.
McDonald. Caldwell. Samaras. And ball given against Georgios Samaras, who doth protest. Free kick's been taken in the wrong place.
Nice of Ian Bryant to explain that what's his arm and what's his shoulder, though.
Yeah, because it's hard to work that out, isn't it? Over the head of Hamill for Cragen. Motherwell wasting that. Motherwell, one of only 2 clubs unbeaten in 2009 in the SPL. The other one, Rangers, top of the table now after their victory over Kilmarnock yesterday. First time since early October that Celtic have been knocked off the top. Scott McDonald's offside by a fair distance.
But if Celtic are going to play balls down the side, it's got to be McDonald or Samaras who are latching onto it. Venegar of Hesselink, not the quickest striker in the SPL by any means.
Side against David Clarkson. When the teams met here in September, Celtic were just about to go 2-0 up by now. So a much better start from Motherwell, who were also beaten in November at Celtic Park 2-0. Casual clearance from Boritz, who decided not to take a touch.
Well, he is guilty of being casual with back passes, and you certainly wouldn't want to be doing that today with this pitch.
Clarkson. Hughes. Hamill there too. Intricate from Motherwell, but nothing doing. Hinkle. Samaras. Sutton chasing this. McManus playing it safe. Craig not quite sure where he should be standing, but he knows now. Manus. Hoisted high by Naylor. Venegora Hesselink. McDonald and now Samaras. It could open up here for Celtic. Brown and McDonald and Venegora Hesselink are in the box, and it's aimed towards Venegora Hesselink. And Klimple clears, but only to Hinkle. Nakamura, it's won back by Fitzpatrick. Lee Naylor's. Free kick given against him, and lunging in.
I think you're going to see plenty of this today. Bit of rough and tumble. Actually think that's quite harsh against Naylor. Thought he won the ball and got fouled himself. But this is going to develop into a real game of cat and mouse, because both teams playing 4-3-3, and the trick is to try and maintain possession and try and force the opposition fullbacks to stay as far back as possible. At the moment, Celtic are winning that battle, I think.
Stevie Hamill, in his second spell with Motherwell, will take this throw. Scott Brown unable to keep it in. Gordon Strachan has never lost at Fir Park as Celtic manager. But he did lose to them at Celtic Park last season. Nakamura. Strong challenge from the Slovakian Klimple. Here's Jim O'Brien. And he slips it through for Clarkson. Never quite had it under control, and Lugans was able to poke it away. Promising anyway for Motherwell. Cragen now. Cleared by Caldwell. Trinsky Nakamura. ankle outside of him. Reynolds cuts across McDonald. Now Stephen Hughes, who played in a good few Old Firm games for Rangers. Jim O'Brien will feel he has a point to prove today against his former club. Samaras tracking back.
Decent break by O'Brien there, but he showed a clean pair of heels to Samaras, and you feel he should have just got the ball in the box because they had men forward, Motherwell.
Paul Quinn preparing a longish throw, perhaps. And again, perhaps not. Cragen. Venegora Hesseling. Up against Klimpel. Looked like he might have hurt himself, but he is back on his feet. Nakamura. Aim towards Venegora Hesseling. Cragen and Quinn conspire to clear. Stephen Hughes, Mark Fitzpatrick. Stray from Samaras. O'Brien. Sent out by McManus. Celtic have drawn their last two matches in the SPL, both 0-0 against Inverness and Rangers. It's 15 years since they went 3 league games running without scoring. Motherwell do extend their unbeaten run today, they would move above Hibs and into the top 6. Samaras. Cragen stretching. His opposing captain is Stephen McManus. Nakamura showing interest. Hamill had the situation under control. Handball from Scott McDonald. Ian Bryan's let it go for a little bit, see if he could allow the game to flow. Hamill's throw. Clarkson meets it. Hooked away by Scott Brown. An awkward fall for Klimpel. He wants to put himself about. Scott McDonald just ran away from him, allowed Cragen to send it back into Celtic's half. Scott Brown's lost it. Klimpel. Brown snarling and handball from Samaras. And for the first time, the decision goes against him. Cragen in towards Sutton. Borrett seem to be in two minds.
Yeah, I've got to say, when you've got two centre-backs, the likes of Louvens and McManus, who are so good in the air, why would you want to come off your line and try and claim it? Let them deal with it.
He changed his mind halfway through. Here's Naylor. Samaras. McDonald. Nakamura. Celtic probing with Gary Caldwell. Venegora Hesseling. Away by Reynolds. Clarkson gives it to Hamill. Caldwell. Offside, Scott McDonald.
Well, this is the ball they're going to be looking for a lot today. McDonald, he almost gets his movement right. It's very, very close, running along the line and in.
Sutton challenging McManus. Naylor. Offside again. Scott McDonald. A feeling of deja vu.
But when have you ever seen Celtic play so direct as this? Ball's getting played out to the fullbacks. McDonald just a fraction early again, but they're holding a high line, Motherwell. It's a dangerous game to be playing because you get it wrong once and your man's clean through on goal.
Cragen launching it towards Clarkson, but it's Nakamura for Caldwell. And it's carried. Hemel couldn't deal with it. Venegora Hesseling forcing the save out of Graham Smith.
Well, I don't think Gary Caldwell plays the through ball exactly where he wants, but it's Hemel who lets it run under his foot. Venegora Hesseling gets the shot away. Decent strike, good save.
O'Brien and Sutton. Luvens and McManus between them, just about able to dig it out. John Sutton has been a serial sub of late, but called upon today because Killian Sheridan has to sit this one out because he's on loan from Celtic. Fitzpatrick chasing. Brown, McDonald. Cragen intervened, and just as well for Motherwell because it could easily have gone through to Venegora and Hesseling. Finkel's cross, Venegora Hesseling with a flick. Samaras was lurking. Stephen McManus. Offside against Venegora Hesseling. Well, it would have been a strange experience for Killian Sheridan had he been allowed to play today. Celtic striker on loan at Fir Park, and tomorrow he'll be celebrating his 20th birthday.
Yeah, it was interesting. We heard from him earlier on in the week, and he was actually relieved that he wasn't available today. Said it would have felt very strange if he was put clean through on goal against his mates.
Stephen Hughes, Clarkson. Tim O'Brien tumbling in the box under pressure from Gary Caldwell, but nothing in that. Free kick. Naylor nearly ended up on the Motherwell bench then. There's going to be a yellow card coming out for Klimple, who does like to make his presence felt.
Well, it could have been nasty, this challenge. Klimple cleans him out, and he's very close to banging his head against this wall. That's one disadvantage about this Fir Park pitch. Not much room between the playing surface and coaching staff on the edge, and red brick walls.
First booking of the match then, and it goes to the tenacious Slovakian. Gordon Strachan seeing the funny side. Exchanging words with the fourth official, Craig Thompson. Naylor's free kick. Evades Luvens, who was kept in check by Cragen.
Well, Jim O'Brien had a half-hearted claim for a penalty. He just rolls Gary Caldwell, but it doesn't look as there's an awful lot in it. Just peels off his man and he gets inside him. Not a penalty for me.
Desperate tumble that from O'Brien. Clarkson fending off Hinkle, supported now by Stephen Hughes, but he runs into Scott Brown. That'll be a free kick. Brown having none of Hughes. Ian Bryant having to step in to calm it down.
Well, Brown's lucky to get a free kick there because he actually loses control of the ball and he ends up throwing his arms all over the place to protect himself. You see he takes a bad touch and he's all arms and everything just to try and keep Stephen Hughes. Hughes is trying to get to the ball, not an awful lot wrong, I don't think.
Naylor's throw towards Venegora Hesseling. Cragen behind him. Volleyed away by Jim O'Brien. Returned by Ovens. And Venegora Hesseling has set up Nakamura, and he sets up Scott McDonald, and it's cleared by Stevie Hamill. And Venegora Hesseling has left his foot in.
Best chance of the game. Venegora Hesseling wins the header. Lovely touch by Nakamura, and the ball just won't sit up for McDonald. He has to wait, and he cannot get a good strike on the ball. Lovely weighted pass by Nakamura. By the time he gets his shot away, the angle is closing him out.
Stevie Hamill. Return to Motherwell after a spell at Southend. Cragen. O'Brien. Quinn. Aim towards Clarkson. Hinkle keeps him occupied. Stephen Hughes. Hamill. Clarkson. Klimple. Hamill will take this throw. Fitzpatrick and Hughes and Sutton, possible options. Sutton won it, and Jim O'Brien snuffed out by McManus. Quinn. Away by Hinkle that time. Motherwell keep the pressure on. Hamill. Hughes is not going to get to that. Motherwell overachieved considerably last season. Well, McGee's men were always likely to find the going a little tougher this time around, but they have picked up lately. The middle of the SPL table is pretty tight. So is the top and the bottom come to that.
Well, there's no doubt Motherwell are still in the shake-up. Of course, third and fourth get into what was known as the UEFA Cup. Europa Cup now, or something like that, is it?
Celtic seeking a fifth successive win over Motherwell. Twice here towards the end of last season. Brown ran into Klimple. Brown moves Klimple out of his way, as you do. Hamill. Clarkson. Oh, he's skipped past Hinkle. David Clarkson Hamill! And Louvens turns it away for a corner.
Well, it's tremendous play by David Clarkson here. Shapes up to cross it and just sneaks it wrong side of Hinkle, and good vision to lift it back to Hamill. I think he's got to stand up a better ball than that. Just knocks it into the near post and it's easy to clear.
This is the first corner of the match. It'll be taken by Jim O'Brien. It will be cleared by Samaras. Hamill. Quinn. Off the head of Samaras, then Brown, then Reynolds. Nakamura. Brown. Naylor. Caldwell. McManus. Clarkson taken out by Louvens and then got a kick from Hinkle. Clarkson not interested in the apology from the German.
No, he's not a happy boy. Just backs into Louvens, who goes over the top of him, draws the foul, and then when Hinkle runs past, bashes him in the head with his knee. Hard to see if he means to do it or not. It's not like the German. I'm sure he could have got out of the way if he really needed to, though.
What can Motherwell offer from this free kick? Comfortably cleared by McManus. Hamill. Clarkson. Klimple. Sutton putting himself about. Hamill. O'Brien. No way past Hinkle. That time. Stephen Hughes. Fitzpatrick! Didn't really connect as he might have wished. Celtic aren't hanging around. Scott McDonald's in a good position here, and Gary Caldwell has found him. It's McDonald twisting and turning and almost scoring, but Graham Smith saved and Klimple knocked up.
Well, it all comes about from a great pass from Gary Caldwell. McDonald shaped to cut in onto his left, back onto his stronger right foot and gets a good shot away. It's a decent hand by Graham Smith. And eventually Klimple sees the danger, clears his lines very well.
Brown. It's going out. There certainly was a quick breakout from Celtic, but Graham Smith up to the task.
McDonald, you think he's going to pull the trigger first of all, but does very, very well to twist Reynolds inside out, gets a good shot away. It's a great save by Smith, really good hand.
Scott McDonald foiled by his former Motherwell teammates, although he has beaten them a few times in recent encounters. Nakamura. Scott McDonald through the middle. Really? Hamill. Klimple. Samaras claiming that he was elbowed. O'Brien's cross meantime. The referee has given a free kick against David Clarkson for a push. Samaras clutching his face after that tangle with Klimple, who is coming across now to see how he is.
Well, again, it's a situation. Klimple just He gets in front of Samras, just looks to nudge the ball away. Players play with their arms up, and he's just looking to hold him off. I cannot see that he's going to do this deliberately, particularly when he's on a booking. Samras, to be fair to him, he caught it in the face. He's bound to go down, but he did make a bit of a meal of it, I think.
I think you're right.
I'll say one thing about Samras, he looks a bit lost in this shape. Not used to playing out wide, and it's not suiting him one bit so far.
McDonald might yet get to this. He's done really well, Scott McDonald, and Gary Caldwell's onto it, although he was closely shadowed by Hughes. Hinkle. McDonald. Reynolds sticking to him that time. Clarkson. Just over 10 minutes of the first half remaining on a horribly bobbly Fir Park pitch. Free kick for Scott McDonald. Well, the assistant referee didn't give it, but Ian Bryans did.
Well, this is McDonald again doing what he does best, just getting his body. He definitely gets a nudge from Reynolds and goes down. Good spot by Ian Bryans.
Yep, a fair call that. Free kick in a very decent position for Celtic. And a very decent free kick taker standing over it. Celtic looking for a breakthrough 10 minutes before half-time. Nakamura straight through to Smith. No problem for him.
The one thing you say about Nakamura when he hits set pieces, he always tests the goalie. But I don't think he's shooting here, he's just trying to get one of his players across the goalkeeper and get a nudge on it to score.
Sutton. Hamill. O'Brien is onside. Nakamura, defensive duty, although the ricochet almost set up Clarkson. It's an easy return from Quinn. McDonald. Nakamura, Scott Brown typically chasing this. And he's got the beating of Fitzpatrick. And it's a cross for Samras, but it's veered away. And Stephen Hughes able to step in. Samaras, Naylor. Nakamura. McDonald for Brown, and he's helped it on to Hinkle. Venegora Hesselink. It was such a neat move from Celtic, incisive. It perhaps deserved better at the end of it from the big man.
Well, they're certainly starting to find their feet on this pitch. That was a great passing move, involving half a dozen players. Brown tucks it out to Hinkle, lovely ball in, free header, got to do better than that. Venegora Hesselink, 12 yards out, no one near him, poor header over the bar.
Well, he's only scored twice this season, yeah, Venegora Hesselink. He has been disrupted by injury, but just 2 goals, and they came in the same game against Aberdeen back in September.
Yeah, I've got to say, Samras is not really contributing a huge amount so far. Neither is Venegora Hesselink. Scott McDonald is looking as sharp as ever.
A massive match in the Barclays Premier League tomorrow at 7. It's Hull against Spurs. And here's Sutton challenging Louvens. We are camping out in Hull this week. Thursday at 7, it's the FA Cup replay. As Sheffield United go to the KC Stadium. Good ball for Quinn. Naylor's throw, Nakamura. And again. Just couldn't barge his way through, or maybe more likely dance his way through. Caldwell. Luvens for Venegora Hesselink. And he's got the free kick off Cragen in a cracking position this for Celtic.
I've got to say at first glance I think he's given it the wrong way. Cragen only has eyes for the ball. Venegora Hesselink arm is up, catches him across the side of the face, and I think that's a foul to Motherwell. He's given it the wrong way, and this is a great opportunity for Nakamura. 20 yards out, fairly central position.
A very harsh free kick from Motherwell's point of view, and you don't really want to give one away in these kind of positions when Shinsuke Nakamura is around. Graham Smith in the firing line, 4 men in the wall. 15 of his 30 goals for Celtic have come from free kicks. He's trying again from the free kick. Nakamura straight against the wall. Justice done because it shouldn't have been a free kick. Anyway. Clarkson. Klimple. Scott Brown's not going to show many of the ball. The two of them embroiled in quite a battle.
Well, I think it's probably a fair reflection of how this game has gone. Motherwell have certainly given as good as they've got, and any surprise really. Big matchup, 4-3-3, even Steven so far.
Manus. Quinn's header goes straight to Samaras. Nakamura. Samaras takes over. And he slips it offside against Scott McDonald.
Well, it's a very clever pass by Samaras. McDonald, not great movement. It's a good call by the linesman.
Celtic have failed to score in 3 of their last 4 games. Samaras. Quinn. Scott Brown charging into Jim O'Brien. O'Brien quick to protest.
Well, Brown just going in. I'm not quite sure what O'Brien is upset about. But this is exactly the type of game that Scott Brown loves. Rough and tumble. The pitch might be awful, but he looks like he's enjoying himself.
I wonder if O'Brien was calling for a yellow card there, which we don't really want to see. Let the referee do that job. Just a warning for Brown. Goes up for the battle as usual. Nakamura's clearance. Not great. Hughes in. Sutton. Oh, Paul Quinn was right behind Sutton as well. Motherwell aiming to end the half on a high. There'll be no significant stoppage time. O'Brien. Reynolds over the top. Sutton. Manus and Naylor prevent a corner. All we need now is a ball. Quinn towards Sutton. Samaras's clearance only goes to Klimpel, caught out by the dreadful surface. Good shout from Boritz. Hamill. Clarkson is onside. Sutton and O'Brien in the box. Clarkson into handball. Stephen Hughes now. Jim O'Brien. Dreadful delivery from O'Brien. The 45 minutes almost up.
I think Mark McGee's going to be relatively happy with the way his team have shaped up. Certainly got down the sides of Celtic on numerous occasions.
Half-time, pretty even so far. Scott McDonald has looked lively. He usually does against his former club, and he usually scores against them, but not so far today. He's forced a fine save out of Graham Smith in Motherwell's goal. McDonald has had one or two openings though, and he turned Mark Reynolds inside out here before forcing Smith into a decent save. We'll hear what John Hartson and Scott Booth think of it next with Rob. But at half-time at Bobley Fir Park, it is 0-0.
You know, I'm sure Mark McGee would want to see a bit more efforts on goal from Motherwell, but you know, they're doing very well. But you know, as we saw from the first half, Celtic are the team that should be in front. And as Scotty said, if they don't take one of these chances, you know, they may look back on that at the end of the game.
It's all about Celtic trying to get back to the top of the league. They're being frustrated so far. Second half with Stuart Lovell and Ian Crocker.
Cheers, Rob. Celtic still firing blanks, and that has been a familiar theme of late. Motherwell, mind you, haven't let many goals in since the turn of the year. Just 2 conceded in 6 matches in the SPL. But Celtic did create the better openings in that first half and will be kicking themselves. But then they've hardly been producing a masterclass of finishing in recent matches.
No, I think that's fair to say. They've been misfiring in front of goal, but you wouldn't imagine that's going to continue for too much longer the way they play.
Naylor's been robbed, and now O'Brien is heading goalwards. And Hinkle on hand to clear. Cragan's throw towards Clarkson. Dispatched by Naylor. Motherwell up and at them at the start of the second half. Cragan's throw, and Clarkson was waiting to pounce, but Leuven was able to steer it away. Bright start to this half for Mark McGee and Scott Leach. Sutton flicked it on, Clarkson! Reynolds. Yeah, Brian's let that go. He just got a little tug from Venegora Hessling. Stevie Hamill will take this throw. Motherwell's last home win against Celtic was that famous game in 2005 when Scott McDonald's late double denied the Hoops the title. McDonald now in their colours, and he's had the major moments really of this game so far. O'Brien. That'll definitely be a free kick for the former Celtic rookie. Scott McDonald getting off worse. But a ticking off from Ian Bryans as well.
Well, he takes some stick from the Motherwell fans when he comes back here in a Hoops jersey. No great surprise there. But he's looked the most dangerous player on the pitch in the first half by some distance.
Sutton flicks it on, but no takers. Clarkson was the other side of him. Gordon Strachan's first SPL match as Celtic manager was on this ground. A remarkable 4-4 draw in 2005. It was quite easy to score that day because John Hartson got a hat-trick. Shoved by Samaras. Celtic hoping to avoid a third successive goalless draw in the league after 0-0s against Inverness and Rangers. Inco lets Leuven's send it on his way.
Well, Stevie Hamill chose to knock that ball in the channel to David Clarkson. The switch of players on all day long for Motherwell. The full-back to the out ball for them because Samaras is tucking in when the ball's on the other side. Motherwell haven't seemed to notice that yet.
Quinn wary that Samaras is lurking. Did his job. Lee Naylor will take this throw. Amongst a few Motherwell kids. Fitzpatrick pipped Brown to it. Caldwell. Game of 10 by Scott McDonald. Scott Brown. Free kick. Given against Brown. Maybe McDonald.
Well, when the ball pops out, McDonald, Fitzpatrick and Brown are in for it. Good honest challenge by Brown, wins the header. And I'm at a loss to try and pick out what Ian Bryans has spotted there.
I think he gave it against McDonald, but Brown is rather bemused. So was McDonald. Hamill. Nakamura. McDonald. Caldwell. Naylor. Burst of speed from Naylor, just clipped by Jim O'Brien, and he gets a free kick, much to the dismay of the home fans.
Well, I think this is what Gordon Strachan will have asked for from his fullbacks. Get forward more, give us something in wide areas because they're playing narrow in midfield. Good play by Naylor there to draw a free kick. And with Motherwell's defensive record over the past 18 months from set pieces, this is a big chance for Celtic.
An early second half goal would do rather nicely for Celtic, who have struggled to score of late. Nakamura's free kick. And Smith rather strangely punching that away, but it kind of worked. Nakamura returns it. Screened by Quinn. Sutton all over McDonald. No free kick. Hughes. Sutton now for O'Brien. Only Clarkson ahead of him at the moment. Scott Brown guarding Clarkson and securing a free kick.
I thought it was poor movement by David Clarkson there when the ball was out wide with O'Brien. The only area he had a chance to maybe get in on goal was peeling off at the far stick, but he went into the near post area and the chance was gone.
Motherwell's next 2 matches are both on grass, i.e. away from home, at Inverness and Hearts. Mark McGee could have been Hearts manager this season. Stratton Celtic knocked off the SPL perch for the first time since the beginning of October. The Rangers beat Kilmarnock yesterday. Lovens. Clarkson. Celtic were to draw today, they would remain in second place because Rangers have a better goal difference. Aidan McGeady's warming up. Left on the bench again today as he was for the Old Firm match. And that was after a run of 6 matches in which he started. It's an eventful season, one way or another. More eventful off the pitch than on it, some would say.
But if you look at Celtic's bench, he's the one player who can really turn a game. They've got the likes of O'D, Crosas, Hutchison, Flood, Hartley. But I think Strachan might be tempted to make a change, go back to his 4-4-2.
Celtic are home to St Mirren next week and they'll be seeing a fair bit of them because they also meet each other in the Scottish Cup. Much to Motherwell's dismay. A yellow card coming out for Scott Brown. He has cut down on his number of bookings this season, but that is his 7th yellow card of the campaign.
Well, there's been a very good scrap between Klimpel and Brown. Brown catches him a little bit late. I would imagine it's more for a succession of fouls rather than that one in particular.
Ten minutes into the second half and the search for a goal goes on. Klimpel, Fitzpatrick. Familiar scoreline this for Celtic of late in the SPL. No foul as Naylor stumbles and Jim O'Brien is tearing away now for Motherwell. Hughes. Too many bodies in his way. Benigora Hesseling. Naylor. Samaras. Hardly a man in form of late. O'Brien. Nakamura. Caldwell. Brown. Nakamura. He's got Naylor available, but he's elected to find Samaras. Clarkson. Handball. Hinkle now. Clarkson has won it back. Unable to keep it in though, and he's hurt himself. Crunching into the gate there. Here's Vennegoor Hesselink. Scott McDonald. I don't think the surface did him any favours there. Celtic are going to bring on Aidan McGeady soon in place of Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink.
A great surprise there, and I'd imagine they'll probably go back to that formation that suits them better than I think this 4-3-3 does.
Nakamura. He's done well to deliver, but it's cleared by Quinn. Reagan fending off Vennegoor of Hesselink. Naylor for Brown. Samaras. He's done all right this time. Scott Brown. Samaras. And it sticks with Smith.
Brown just heavy with his touch, but it pops back out to Samaras. Pretty tame effort in the end.
Lovens requiring some assistance from Boritz. Celtic way ahead as far as goal attempts are concerned, and Scott McDonald closing in again, and he's scored this time. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Scott McDonald has now scored every time he's come back to Fir Park.
Well, it's no great surprise he copped so much stick from the Motherwell fans, but my God, he doesn't half work hard for his team. He's had chances galore in the first half, but it doesn't put him off making runs into dangerous areas. Gets in between, bad mistake by Stephen Craigan. Gets a tame shot away, and you would think Graham Smith would be very disappointed with himself. Craigan misses completely. Gets across Hamill. It's a very weak shot, and in the end takes a nasty bobble off the pitch, but I think Smith should be doing far better.
It's a horrible goal for Motherwell to concede, but Celtic have break the deadlock on the hour. Scott McDonald here has now scored in his last 5 matches against his former club. 8 goals in 7 games against them since he left Fir Park for Celtic Park. A phenomenal record. And that's the way to answer the Boo Boys. It's not the same answer every time, to be fair to him.
He's been sharp today, no doubt about that.
Hinkle almost held back then. Still behind.
Well, it was a catalogue of errors in the build-up to this, but ball pops out to McDonald, and eventually he gets his shot where you just see a nasty bobble off the pitch. But I think Graham Smith gets enough of his body in the way to deal with it better.
Scott McDonald, the man who once cost Celtic a title, now in the business of aiming to secure them titles. It's his 13th goal of the season. Unlucky for Motherwell. Celtic are still going to bring on Aidan McGeady, which was the plan before McDonald scored. Vennegoor of Hesselink was going to be replaced. So there won't be a third successive goal as drawn. The SPL for Celtic. Aidan McGeady waiting in the wings for the next break of play. Venegora Hesseling, Fitzpatrick, Sutton, Hinkle with a fine challenge. Naylor, cut out by Klimple. O'Brien. That will be the cue for this Celtic change. And Venegora of Hesseling going off, and on comes Aidan McGeady, who faces Motherwell for the first time this season. He was left on the bench here back in September and injured when the teams met at Celtic Park in November. Venegora Hesseling a little late noticing that his number is up. And there will be a more familiar look about this Celtic side now.
Yeah, a more familiar look and probably a more dangerous look about them. Don't think this system, the 4-3-3, has worked particularly well so far, but Celtic have got their noses in front now. Gordon Strachan has chosen to bring on his talisman, Aidan McGeady. Motherwell fullbacks will be scratching their heads thinking how they're going to deal with McGeady and Nakamura in wide areas now.
Yes, a change of tack from Gordon Strachan. Hinkle, Brown, Samaras, Nakamura, McGeady, McDonald, Naylor, Nakamura. No foul. I think Stephen Hughes was quite surprised too. And that he stopped. O'Brien. Naylor. McDonald. Nakamura. It's a free kick off Klimple. Klimple's got to be careful, he's on a yellow card.
You've got to say, one thing about Nakamura is he takes some amount of kicks in a game. He's got an extraordinary temperament just to keep plugging away. Very rarely complains to the officials. Wonderfully talented player, but a great professional, great attitude to the game.
Samaras. The target here for Lee Naylor. Bundled away by Fitzpatrick. Motherwell's 7-game unbeaten run in the SPL is under threat. There's the reason why. Scott McDonald scoring his obligatory goal against his old club. Nakamura. Celtic shot it off the top by Rangers yesterday, but they will return there as it stands. Naylor. Reynolds unable to dig it out. McDonald for Nakamura. Hinkle arriving. Samaras. There to set up McDonald. Gathered though by Graham Smith. Fitzpatrick. Jamie Murphy's going to be on for Motherwell as they search for an equaliser. Caldwell, Samaras, Brown.
just haven't got started in this second half, and they're going to have a serious rethink about how to get back in this match, because Celtic are in control. Wonder whether Mark McGee might try and match up again. He's obviously still got his team more as a 4-3-3, but got one or two options on the bench that might be able to freshen things up.
Jamie Murphy, young striker who is highly thought of here, just 19 years of age. He has regularly come on as a sub lately. He's taken the place of Mark Fitzpatrick, and is going to see a slight rejig.
Yep, two more orthodox wide players, and I think that's what Motherwell need to do, try and get down the sides of Celtic as they did in the first half.
Caldwell. Next Saturday, it's Hamilton Accies against Rangers from 11:30 on Setanta Sports 1. That'll be a tough one for Rangers. And from the Barclays Premier League on Sunday at 12, it's Bolton versus Newcastle. Hinkle. Samaras chasing. Reynolds secures a goal kick, although the Celtic fans behind that goal felt that it might have just taken a nick off him.
It's always a dangerous game as a centre-back when you try and shield the ball out. Certainly took a little touch just as it was about to go off the pitch. I think Celtic probably should have had a corner there.
This would be a big win for Gordon Strachan if they can collect 3 points from Fir Park. Not too many league games over the next month or so, Celtic or Rangers, because of their cup commitments. Scottish Cup, and of course the Old Firm will meet in Hampden in the Co-op Cup final as well next month. Yellow card is shown to Stephen Hughes.
Well, this is Nakamura taking another knock. Flying arm into the face. Stephen Hughes, I think, is just trying to rally his teammates. They need to get some dig in midfield. They've been way off the pace in the second half. Gary Caldwell has had the freedom of the park. Nakamura has had plenty of space to operate. Motherwell have gone cold.
Celtic eager to record only their second win in 6 SPL games. Got to the good, but a lead that is still too slender for their liking. As we move into the last 20 minutes. McGeady for McDonald. Nakamura. Cut out by Hughes. O'Brien now. The swap sides. No joy though. Hinkle. Samaras. Brown. Caldwell. There's a bit of room for McGeady. Naylor. McDonald. Naylor. Hamill heads it back in Naylor's direction. And he can try again. Flags up for offside. McDonald it was, I think.
Well, they've started to play some silky stuff now. Although I've got to say, Lee Naylor must know that Scott McDonald is offside there. And when it comes back on his right foot, you know that's going to hit the corner flag anyway.
McDonald chasing. Cragen taking it away for a throw.
Celtic just looks so much more fluid with this 4-4-2. You can see the players are comfortable with their roles in the side. I can see why Gordon Strachan gave it a bash with the 4-3-3 because of the pitch, but Celtic just look far more dangerous like this.
McGeady, McDonald, Samaras. Rimple snuffed out the shot. Sutton will go for this, but Leuven's in command. Naylor. Murphy. Paul Quinn has got a rest coming up after this game, a 2-match ban. He leaves the throw for Cragen, as usual. In towards Sutton, screened by Caldwell. McGeady. McGee's side looked to play a limitation of themselves at St Mirren on Thursday in the Cup. Better today, but trailing.
Yeah, and you've got to say, they really needed to get something out of this game because they've not been in touch with the teams in the chases for 3rd and 4th place for a while, but they've had a good run in the last couple of months to drag themselves closer. But I think a win today would have given them a serious chance of catching the teams ahead.
Motherwell are on the same number of points as Hibs and Hamilton, but they're just outside the top 6. McDonald, Brown, McGeady, Scott Brown, he's got, just couldn't poke it through to Samaras, who was absolutely unmarked.
But he tried, didn't he? You could see that. Samaras has got his hands on his head, wondering why he wasn't spotted, but he was spotted, but the ball wouldn't sit up for Scott Brown. Great movement, though.
Caldwell, now that would have been a story. They had visions of a screamer into the top corner.
Well, he can certainly pull the trigger, Gary Caldwell. He's got a great strike in him. Put in a faultless display today.
Quarter of an hour remaining. Celtic looking reasonably comfortable. But the second goal always most welcome in situations like these. Samaras. Caldwell. McGeady. Naylor.
Motherwell just haven't been able to get out though in this second half. Just trying to put their foot through the ball and clear their lines, and Celtic have picked up every second ball. Leuven's and McManus knocking it down into midfield, and Celtic are up and at them again.
Clarkson. Pimple alongside. Naylor did well, but it's far from clear yet for Celtic. Now though, Hinkle, Samaras, Quinn, O'Brien struggling to keep that in.
Jimmy. Turn Naka.
Brown, Cragen, McManus, Hamill, Clarkson, Hughes, Clarkson got it all wrong. Thought that Murphy was making moves, although it's just not happening.
No, it's not happening for Motherwell. I think it's fair to say they've had very little cutting edge about them in the second period, and if you play like that against Celtic for too long, you're asking for trouble.
Scott McDonald's goal separating the sides. Reynolds.
Sammy's there. Second one.
McDonald. Nakamura. Naylor. Motherwell are going to throw on Darren Smith as they continue their quest for an equaliser. Another promising young player who had his first start of the season against Hamilton Accies last week. Celtic in control. Motherwell not getting much of a look in this second half. Jim O'Brien. Klimple.
That layoff by Klimple pretty much sums up Motherwell in the second half. Just haven't been able to piece any decent play together. And when they've got into wide areas, they've hit the front man, which is unforgivable.
Murphy. O'Brien. Klimple looking to get onto that. Booted away by Gary Caldwell. Cragen under pressure from McDonald. Returned by Reynolds. Torrance will grab it. Hasn't been tested too much today. Murphy. Sutton knew that he'd sneaked offside. McGeady. Naylor. McDonald. McGeady again. O'Brien. Into the last 10 minutes at Fir Park. Clarkson gets a free kick off Louvens.
Louvens gives a free kick away on this occasion, but this is part of the reason why Celtic have been so dominant second half.
O'Brien's cross is a good one. Sutton didn't get to it, but Quinn has. And Motherwell have got an equaliser. Paul Quinn celebrates, and Celtic may not be going back to the top.
Well, this is unbelievable. Where has this goal come from? They take a quick free kick. O'Brien stays just onside, whips a good ball in. Sutton misses a header, but it pops out to Quinn. Left foot straight in the corner. Boris, no chance. Celtic just asleep from the set piece. They don't deal with the first ball. When it comes out to Quinn, he dispatches it very well on his weaker side. And this is a problem when you go 1-0 up and you don't put your chances away. You're always under the threat.
Well, his last goal was in December 2007 against Rangers. He's got one against Celtic now. Paul Quinn signs off for 2 matches after today. He'll be suspended against Inverness and Hearts, but he has made a significant contribution to the cause for Motherwell in this match. And will Celtic be denied a return to the top? Clarkson looking to get to that. Caldwell. Too heavy. The expression kind of says it all. Celtic making hard work of it in recent weeks. Here's O'Brien. Someone in Motherwell have a bit of belief. Klippel can't get past Caldwell. Motherwell have changed their mind about bringing on Darren Smith now. No wonder. They're buzzing. Here's O'Brien. Oh, everyone was stopping. O'Brien's cross. Nearly caught out Boruts. And suddenly, the picture has changed remarkably.
As it ever, you just can't believe it. Celtic in cruise control in this second half. 1-0 up, and they've had any amount of possession. Motherwell, no threat whatsoever, and then out the blue, an equalizer.
Clarkson chasing this, so too Luvens. Nakamura for Caldwell. McGeady sold a little short, and now John Sutton. McManus. Cannoned off Hughes. McGeady. McDonald for Samaras. It's Nakamura. Samaras. Away by Klippel. And there's an urgency now for Celtic to score. Samaras. Went down very easily. Caldwell. Away by Quinn. Here's Luvens. McGeady for Brown. 5 minutes left at Fir Park. Celtic appeared to be strolling towards a victory, but not now. McGeady. McDonald. Brown. Poked away by Quinn. Caldwell's header. Hinkle. Nakamura's been bundled over by Klippel.
Well, Klippel's treading a fine line at the moment. Picked up a booking in the first half, and he's got to be careful.
Celtic have won 16 matches in the last 5 minutes under Gordon Strachan. They need to make it 17. They have a chance. Nakamura. Samaras. Just over.
Well, he knows it's a chance. It's a great ball in by Nakamura. Loads of pace on it. He's just got to help it on its way. Actually ends up getting across his man, and it's a free header about 8 yards out. Can't quite guide it on target.
Motherwell were going to bring on Darren Smith to pep up their attacking options, but now that they have grabbed an unlikely equaliser, it'll be Keith Lasley who will come on to try and shore things up. Here's McGeady though. Still some defending for Motherwell to do. Of that we can be sure. Quinn. Motherwell will certainly be delighted to take a point off the champions. Rangers will be rather delighted if it stays like this. They will stay top. Nakamura. McGeady. Stephen McManus. Samaras. Hinkle. Brown. Caldwell. Naylor. Here's McGeady. Celtic urgently seeking a winner. Naylor. Nakamura. Naylor's cross. Away by Klimple. Well determined to hang on to what they have now, but here is McGeady, and his route to goal is blocked by Stephen Hughes. Caldwell. Hinkle. Not an effective clearance from Klimple. Caldwell. Scott Brown. Oh, he's done really well, Brown! And it came off Reynolds and disappeared for a corner.
Well, what about this for a bit of skill? Threads the ball through to Brown. Cruyff's his man. Little flick. And that would have been a goal fit to win any game. Fantastic skill by Scott Brown.
Celtic's first corner of the game comes with 89 minutes on the clock. Nakamura takes it. Caldwell couldn't get near it. We hear there's only going to be a couple of minutes of stoppage time. High into the sky from Craigan. Celtic came into this match, which is 1 win in 5 in the SPL, with just 3 wins in 9. Are they going to fail to collect 3 points again?
Well, they say any point that you pick up against the old firm is a bonus, and I'm sure Mark McGee will feel that way because his team have been largely outplayed today.
If they are held to a draw here, Celtic, it will be just 7 points from the last 18 on offer for Gordon Strachan's side. And they will have relinquished top spot for a week at least, rather than a day. 2 minutes of stoppage time then.
But as a manager, what do you do in this situation? He wants his team to score goals because they've been misfiring. He plays with 3 up front. He changes it and plays with 2 wingers. They make plenty of chances, and still they're not able to put the game to bed.
Must drive you mad. Offside against John Sutton. Still time for Celtic, but not much of it. A minute remaining. Celtic hoping for a late goal. McDonald. McGeady. Boris still way out of his goal. Does carry for a throw-in, but that could have been rather embarrassing.
Well, Scott Leach was screaming at Jim O'Brien to stay up front because he needed someone just to put pressure on when they cleared their lines, and that's why. Now Motherwell have got a throw-in inside Celtic's half, and the pressure's off.
The 2 minutes of added on time almost up. Celtic dropping points again in the SPL, unless they are leaving it to the last available moment. Hinkle, Ian Bryan just looked at his watch. It's all over, and Motherwell have escaped with a point. Gordon Strachan Celtic stumble and stutter again in the SPL. Paul Quinn scored late on to scramble a point for Motherwell, just as the game looked like it was slipping away from them. Scott McDonald squandered a few chances in the first half, but eventually found a way to goal, as he usually does against his old club. But Celtic were unable to hang on, and that's just 3 wins in 10 now in the SPL for the men in Boots. They need to start winning again soon, that is for sure, because Rangers have now overtaken them. They will stay top, Rangers, on goal difference. It finishes at Fir Park. Motherwell 1, Celtic 1.
More live Premier League football for you tomorrow night. Hull City are 1 in 10 in the league against Tottenham, not yet safe, either of them, from relegation worry. 7 o'clock, Setanta Sports 1. And it's to Hull and back, because we're back at the KC on Thursday night for an FA Cup 5th round replay between Hull and Championship side Sheffield United, 7 o'clock. Live football from the Clydesdale Bank Premier League next Saturday lunchtime. That should be intriguing. And Rangers are still in front of Celtic on goal difference ahead of their trip to Hamilton. 11:30. Setanta Sports 1 for that one. And Barclays Premier League football next Sunday with the Reebok for Bolton Newcastle from 12. Well, Celtic were heading back to the top of the SPL when Scott McDonald scored against his old team, just as he tends to do. But Motherwell's Paul Quinn came up with a late leveller, and Rangers stay in front in the title race. All the after-match reaction from Fir Park coming up.